contacted my friend Tom at Goldspot Pens and I said, "Hey Tom." He said, "Hey Stephen." I said, "Hey Tom." He said, "Yeah, what?" I said, he said, "What?" I said, "How about a Sailor 1911 Compass?" I say compass, yeah, because I'm European. It's an inexpensive pen from Sailor. I got quite a couple of review requests. I think it is an interesting pen because it is so affordable, relatively speaking, right? And it comes in all kinds of colors. People love that. Translucent plastics. This one is completely clear, and it is incredibly clear. They have polished that plastic because it's very, very clear, and it's awesome. So I thought it would be nice to do a review on that. So I got the pen. It came in a remarkable box for a pen in that segment. I thought it's a really nice and complete set, which is awesome. And I got this Goldspot magazine, which I thought was really nice because it's very colorful and has all kinds of pens and things and interviews and people, and it was really fun. So that's a really neat idea. So what I'm going to do is I will show you the parts of the pen, then I will do a writing sample and I will tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. And then I will blow up the pen. No, wait. That was another video idea I was working on. Sorry. No explosions. Let's get started. Okay, the Sailor 1911 Compass, again through Goldspot. This is a pen that has an MSRP of $49 US, but has a street price, that's what I saw in Goldspot, of about $39.20. So call it about $45 roughly on average or something. I think, in all honesty, this pen has a lot going for it at that price. And I'll tell you why. First of all, starting with the box, I mean, I don't particularly care for boxes, but I will say, as boxes go, I think this is a nice box. It's well made. It's big for this particular pen. I'm sure this will come out one way or another, but I can't get it out easily. But it's a pretty complete package. The pen comes wrapped in a little pen condom. Then we have two cartridges, black cartridges. I put in one simply to see how it would work. Because I recently got this Prefonte, which I had to fiddle with for a long time with the cartridge. I slid the cartridge into this pen, it worked straight away. Two cartridges you get, black cartridges, which is kind of fun, and you get a converter. And if you think about it, I mean, a converter can easily be, I don't know, $6, $7, $10, something along those lines. It's also a proprietary converter, so you can't just put any good old international converter in it. That I think is really neat, and then it comes with a bit of paperwork explaining how to ink up the pen, that kind of stuff. So, in other words, I think this is a remarkably complete package, and I mean, again, right now at Goldspot for under $40, I think that's neat, and it's a Sailor. Now let's look at the pen. I'm going to zoom in so you can really see it clearly. I'll put it right next to a Pilot Metropolitan. It's by no means a large pen. It is 1911 shaped. You have the 1911 standard and the 1911 large. This is a 1911 Compass. Definitely the same shape. Similar clip style, not identical, but similar clip style. The little metal ring, like it has a lot of the features that its larger brothers have. Let's just cover the parts of this pen. So on top, the finial. This is a clear plastic version. There also are other finishes available. I liked the finial is clear as well. Clear seems to be a theme on this pen, by the way. We have the clip. The clip is nice and springy. We have a center band which says Sailor, made in Japan. This is not translucent, this is completely transparent, very clearly polished. It's a super clear pen which I personally enjoy. And then we have the barrel, tapers down, and before anyone asks, this is a little plug. So I don't think this can be eyedroppered. I haven't tried. I personally don't see the appeal of eyedroppering pens, but I know a lot of people do. But there is actually a plug in there, so I would be afraid this would leak. Okay, we unscrew the cap. Also nice that it has a screw-on cap. As you can see, this is one of my interesting things about this pen. This cap attracts ink, but what's really weird is you can actually write with this nib on the plastic, which I found interesting. I'm just saying it's interesting. A smaller pen, right? This is not a huge pen, but it posts very securely. And then you have a really nicely sized pen. It's really light, so if you like lighter pens, or some of my viewer friends I know have arthritis, have issues with heavier pens, these kinds of things, this would be a really nice option. Section is beautifully polished and super clear as well. I mean, just look at the imprint of the converter, sorry, the cartridge that you can read. Right? It's just, that's how clear this plastic is, and I don't know why it excites me that much, but there is not a hint of cloudiness anywhere. It's all super clear, which I thought was really nice. You have the nib, you can see the nib through the section. Of course, you can see the inky mess, that's normal, that's how a pen works. You have a feed, which is clear. This is not black. Look at what happens when I turn it to its side. It's clear plastic. It looks black because there's black ink in it, and I won't lie, I have a thing for clear feeds because they take on the color of the ink, and especially with a more exotic, like a red or a green, it looks really cool. I don't know, maybe I'm like a 6-year-old girl inside, I don't know, I just find that very exciting. Here we have the nib, which is remarkably flat. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's almost no curvature to it. Nothing curves around the feed, and yet I found it to be an incredibly reliable writer that starts up every time I uncap it. It is labeled MF because it's a medium fine, right? I made a joke and I stole it from Stephen, my friend. But so the MF nib, which is just kind of funny, it has the anchor, sailor's anchor on it, and this is pretty much it. Sailor cartridges, as I said before while I was talking about the converter, Sailor cartridges are a proprietary size, so you cannot just put an international cartridge or converter in it, but you get 2 black cartridges and a converter with the pen, so basically you are good to go straight away. Let's do a writing sample. I have already written on this half of the page, but you know, in an age of let's not waste anything, I'm just going to use this side of the paper if you don't mind. This is a Sailor 1911 compass with an MF nib and black Sailor ink in it, which is indeed a very nice black. I am writing on the cover of the notebook, which always means you hear quite a bit of feedback, because here's a notebook with my notes. I think this is less pronounced than on the plastic here. As a nib, it is, I mean, medium fine, but I would say that is fine, but remember, Japanese medium is kind of Western fine, etc. I will say it has quite a bit of feedback, as Sailor nibs tend to do. But I have yet to see it skip. Of course it did so there, but I think that was me. Every time I write with it, every time I uncap it, it writes straight away. There's no issues, there's no problems, there's no nothing. It writes straight away. Again, not the wettest writer in the world, right? But overall, nice. As to line variation, it's a pretty rigid nib. It's a steel nib, but maybe a little bit of line variation you can take out. As to reverse writing, which some people really like, it works and it's smooth, which is nice, but I don't think it's a whole lot finer than what you usually get out of it. So with that, I think we need to talk about what I like and what I don't like about this pen. Let's do that. Okay, so what do I like, what do I not like? I don't know why I did this, I'm sorry. About the Sailor 1911 compass. I think this is a solid pen that has a lot going for it. And I also, what a weird angle I'm in. That's a little better. A little better. Anyway, sorry. I think it has a lot going for it. At this price, about $40, right? Give or take a couple bucks. You are buying a Sailor, you are buying a pen of a brand with, in my mind, an excellent reputation. I don't remember hearing a lot of bad things about Sailor pens, and my experience with them has been consistently really quite good. it's nice to see that they pay attention to their inexpensive pens, but also to their expensive pens, right? Not just the expensive ones. I think that what this pen has going for it is it's relatively affordable. There are cheaper pens out there for sure. I'm thinking of, I just put it away, but the Platinum Prefonte, which I got around the same time, which is a $10 pen, right? This is about 40 bucks, so it is definitely more. But then also bear in mind what you get. You don't just get a pen that writes solidly, but you get 2 cartridges, you get a converter. Don't forget a converter itself, $6 to $10, right? So that's already included, which I think is really nice. You get a sailor nib. Sailor nibs are, in my mind, good nibs. For me, one of the best nibs out there. Typically well tuned out of the box, write well, smooth, don't skip. Very pleasant to use, and this nib is no exception. For the record, I don't know why on earth you would want to do that, but no, you cannot take a gold nib from a 1911 standard and put it on here, because I'm pretty sure these have different shapes. I haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's not possible. Which is the empirical way to do it these days. You don't actually test it, you just say that it's how it is, because I think that's how the world works now. So that's great. You have no nib options, like this is the hard medium fine, and that's what you get. It's definitely on the fine side, but that's great for my friends who like fine nibs, which is a lot of people out there. Nobody knows why, but you know, you should always use a broad nib, but that's fine. I'm just kidding, right? There's excellent use for fine nibs, and it is nice and fine. It's a solid writer. It hasn't given me hard starts. It hasn't given me writing issues. It hasn't stopped writing. It hasn't run dry. It hasn't skipped. It just keeps going and going and going until the cartridge is empty, which is what you could wish for in a pen. I will point out again that it is really neat that it has a clear feed. I was very excited about that because I just like clear feeds. I think it's a cool writer, and there's little else I can say about it. Things I don't like so much, as I said, you don't have a choice in nib options. It would be nice if you could have, even if it would just be a broad, so you would have something a little bit more towards Western medium. That doesn't seem to be an option, at least not that I found online. I talked about the nib interchangeability as far as to the best of my ability. It's a small pen. It's small, and that's not an issue for everyone because some people have smaller hands. When posted, I find no issues with this. It's very comfortable to use, and that's just the way it is. So I always find pen size, that's the way it is, so that's not necessarily something I can really complain about. The final thing that I will say that I found a bit of an issue is I noticed with this pen in particular, hey, this is a risk with any clear cap, but you definitely get ink on there. And as I said, it's kind of weird that you can write on the inside of the cap with the nib. It's strange that a fountain pen nib writes on plastic like that. Must have something to do with the texture, I suppose, but in any case, yeah, there is that. Oh, and another thing, by the way, for my friends who care about such things, the nib and the clip can actually be made to line up because it's clear and you see it, just so you know. As I said, you will get some ink on the inside of the cap, so maybe if that bothers you, carry a little cloth so you can quickly clean it. Having said that, for 40 bucks, this is a solid pen. That's all I can say. I'm very grateful to Goldspot for sending me this pen. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tom and colleagues. I hope this was useful, and I will gladly see you later. Bye-bye.